Hi guys, in this video we're going to be having a look at the Neca, the Crow Rooftop Battle, I guess it's called. It's obviously the scene at the end of the Crow which depicts Eric Draven fighting Top Dollar on top of the church. Now for me, this is one of my all-time favourite films, to be honest. I don't know why or what, but it was a massive influence to me in the 90s, obviously growing up. But I understand it's a Marmite film. Either people really love it or they hate it. I'm one of the majority that absolutely love it, to be honest. Not obviously as such a fan to the sequels, to be honest. For me it's all just about the first film, and that should have just stayed as the first film, to be honest. But like I say, I absolutely love this film. Cannot get enough of it. It was all about the posters, the soundtrack, the comic books, everything when I was younger. So the opportunity to start collecting figures from the films, or the film I should say, absolutely love it. But I'm not reviewing the film, obviously reviewing the figures. But for me, if you haven't seen The Crow, please watch it. Don't worry about the other ones, the sequels, Wicked Prayer. Just watch the original one. Don't even think, oh, I'll watch the sequels, to be honest. Well, you can, they're not bad, but for me it's all about the first film, and the soundtrack to it is absolutely brilliant as well, in my opinion. Anyway, obviously in this box we can see Eric Draven here. Obviously there's a bit at the top of the church there, and you can clearly see Top Dollar and Eric Draven in there. On the side, picture of Top Dollar. On the back, it says on the back there, it all comes down to this: after carrying out his vengeance on the gang of criminals responsible for the death of he and his fiancée, I guess that should be him, for the death of him and his fiancée, but it says he anyway. Eric thought he was done and could finally rest in peace, but Top Dollar wouldn't allow it. He wanted the power of the Crow. He wanted immortality. By kidnapping Sarah, he draws Eric and the Crow out into the open, and now, with his invulnerability stripped away, Eric Draven makes his final stand atop the Cathedral. It's Eric versus Top Dollar in a rooftop battle, a fight to the death. And obviously you can see the scene there with Eric Draven, Top Dollar, got little verses there, and the removable weather vane. And on that end we've obviously got a picture of Eric Draven. Top has the old iconic image of the Crow, and on the bottom obviously nothing exciting there, and we have a 2005 stamp on the bottom there. Now, one thing, the Eric Draven figure is the exact same Eric Draven figure that you get in the Cult Classics Hall of Fame, which features the weather vane and the diorama base. So you have the little bit of the top of the cathedral, obviously the weather vane in there, and exactly the same figure. So, but they're not. This is actually quite hard to get hold of. This one, when I say quite hard, it's cheap. When it does come up for sale, you can get it quite cheap, to be honest, but you'll literally pay the same amount for this whole set, so it's totally up to you what you go for. In terms of the box set, this hasn't sold, or isn't as expensive as the Reflections one, so you will get this very cheap, to be honest. You wouldn't probably be paying any more than £20 for this set, to be honest. So like I say, if you're going for the Eric Draven figure, you might as well go for this, because you're going to pay about the same amount of money for both, to be honest. So what do you get for your money? We have obviously this set here. Oh, hold on, I'll take it out. Now it is quite a fragile set, to be honest. I don't know why it was made quite so fragile, to be honest. Let's just move that down there so you can see it a little bit better. And these little bits, those little bits on the end there, they slot into there just to give it a bit of a better look, to be honest. But that's essentially what you get in that box set. So let's dissect it. So like I say, 2 of these, basically they just add a little bit of. I do apologise about that. They just add a little bit of extra to the whole scene. Now, my only problem with this set, well, I say my only problem, is the top dollar figure. To be honest, there's no movement in his legs whatsoever. So the only option you have of how you have him is obviously by the peg on here, and that peg, if you want to put his heel right down, he's obviously at this angle, so he has to have his foot raised a little bit. So he's not brilliant on there, to be honest. You need to get a little bit of blue tack or something to wedge in there. And another thing, which is exactly what's happened with mine. So I'll just actually, well, I've got top dollar, we'll just go for the articulation. So he's just got rotation in the waist, rotation in the head. Now this is where what I was going to say my problem is, because if he falls over, well, I've ended up with half a handle of his sword in that hand and the rest of the sword in that hand, because it's such a brittle. The sword is so brittle. If he falls over in any way whatsoever, bang, breaks. Like I say, you can see he's got a little bit of the handle in there, and the rest of the sword there. But you know, it's not the end of the world, to be honest. Once you get them lined up, and obviously get him on display with them lined up, you don't notice it, to be honest. So he's obviously got rotation in the shoulder, in the elbow, and obviously in the wrist there. For me, it's not a brilliant sculpt of top dollar either. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's. I mean, his clothing and everything is right, and you can obviously tell who it is if you've seen the film. I think it's probably the hair or something. I don't know. Something's just not sitting right with me on it. The face doesn't look as good as it could be. I don't know. I just think Neca have let themselves down a little bit with the sculpt of top dollar, to be honest. But that's just my opinion, obviously, in that. So, like I say, if you can get his hands back aligned, you can get him obviously posed, battling Eric Draven. So the other bit of the base is, of course, this bit. This bit you get with the single figure, but obviously you've got this little bit of the cathedral roof to go with your display there. And then we've obviously got the Eric Draven figure. Again, rotation in the waist, nothing from the leg down, knee wise, but you do have rotation in the feet. And I do like the fact that, I'm sure that, no, they're not. Oh, I thought they were a bit softer than that. Oh, sorry, I thought they were a bit softer plastic, but they're not. They are just sculpted hard like that. Exactly the same articulation as the top dollar. You've got the head. I'm not going to move them. The shoulders, the elbow rotation, and the wrist rotation. Exactly the same principle here when it comes to if he fell over. This little bit in here could break, and it's just a case of lining up. And you don't want to obviously twist it around too much, because that's just going to put a lot of stress on that little bit in his hands there and obviously break. But this is a fantastic figure, to be honest, and you know, obviously if you did get the standalone solo figure, you're going to get a brilliant figure in itself, to be honest. It just looks a bit weird why he stood like that, and I think it just looks better being on the rooftop, to be honest. And he stands up fine. His little peg that he stands on, it's fine. He's on there solid. It's just top dollar. There's a little bit of, you know, balance problem going on when it comes to putting top dollar on there. But for me, it's a good little set. Like I say, it's very cheap. You shouldn't have any problems getting hold of it, to be honest. And yeah, like I say, I love the film, so absolutely made up with it, to be honest. I can never be bothered to put them on to us. And I also worry these little tabs on there could quite easily break off if you're pushing these onto them, to be honest. So I just have them stood there like that. But anyway, guys, thanks for watching. That's obviously the little look at the Crow Neca rooftop battle. Thanks for watching, guys. You take care. Obviously, please subscribe, and I'll catch you again soon. Bye bye.